Hey everyone, my name is Laura, and today we are going to be making something that looks really complicated, but is actually really easy. We're going to be making a book flower wreath, or whatever you want to call it, but something really cool that you can make for your home. And it looks just like this. I know, it looks complicated, but it's actually really easy. So stick around and make this with me. Okay, so for our book page wreath, the first thing we're going to do is open up our bag. So inside our bag we'll have our circle. That's going to be the base for our wreath. We have a glue stick and some square little pieces of book pages, some bigger squares, and then some smaller squares. So we're going to be using two different sizes of our kind of little curls. So these are going to be the two different sizes. So the first thing I want to do is start by making our first little curl. So we're going to open up our glue stick, and we're going to do one of the corners over here. This stuff will dry clear, so. And then we are going to stick the two corners together, so we just have like this little kind of cannoli shape. And we're gonna keep doing that until we have, I don't know, maybe 20 of them. So just keep making them until you have about 20. Okay, so once you have about 20 of your bigger curls, we're going to make smaller curls. So we're going to take our smaller pieces of paper and do the same thing. And I'm going to make about 10 of these. You should have enough paper for 20, but I'm only going to do 10 for right now. I don't want to do more than I have to do for what I need. So I'm going to start with the larger ones, and I'm going to continue to use my glue stick, but if you have a glue gun at home and you want to try using that instead, you can, or also you can do that. It does help a little bit when you're dealing with these kind of like small spaces. When you're trying to stick a glue gun in there, or a glue stick in there, it's a little bit harder, but it's completely up to you. You can use the glue stick. I made one entirely with glue sticks. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of space out my my pieces so that I have an idea of what it will look like spacing wise. I'm only going to put about the top, or the last inch or so. I'm gonna want it to stick out a little bit further than that. So I'm gonna start with that, and I'm gonna put the glue directly on my curly thing, my piece. So it looks like the bottom one, or my bottom layer, is going to be about 16 pieces. So you'll need more than 16. So we've got 20 here, and then I think the second layer will be about 8. think that's really all we can fit on here. If you wanted to do this at home with your own materials, you could always use a bigger base, round base, and then you could make a much larger one. This was just the size that I did. So I'm gonna make a few more of my curlies. Okay, so now I'm gonna lay down my next 8, and I'm gonna do the same thing that I did before. I'm just gonna put some glue at the bottom, and then I'm gonna start here sort of in between. And actually, it looks like we might be able to fit one more layer on here. So I'm just gonna do another 4. All right. So now we're going to move on to our smaller rolls. So you don't have to use a ton of these if you don't want to, but they are kind of nice to fill in spots that might look a little bare. So we're gonna put a couple of them in the middle. I'm just gonna bend this down a little bit just to make it easier, since I'm not gonna have a lot of space to work with once I'm sort of placing that in the middle down here. So I'm just gonna and from here, you can just sort of put them in places where you feel like it could use a little bit more to fill in. So like this spot right here looks like it could probably use a little bit of something extra. So I'm gonna okay. I think I am about finished with mine. So you can, all I did was just tape a little bit of like ribbon to the back of mine so that it would hang up. I could hang it up that way, but you should have your back piece just like that. And yeah, so now you've got your paper wreath ribbon or wreath, and you can do these with all sorts of things. So if you have any extra newspapers, magazines, anything like that laying around, you can make this pretty easily. So okay, well, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. We are having a Maycraft in person this month at the Sam Garcia Library. It's going to be Sharpie alcohol coasters, so feel free to register for those. Registration is open now, so yeah, register for those and join me when we do those on the fourth Sunday of the month at 3 o'clock. We also have summer reading coming up starting June 1st, so we will be having programming all summer for all ages. So please be sure to check out our online calendar at avondalelibrary.org for all the information about all of our upcoming programming. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed making this. Thanks. Bye.